The American values in Pixar company. When people talk about other cultures, they usually use what they hear in news, music, movies, and judge them in a subjective way, talking from what they know and what they have experienced in their own countries. But each country has their own characteristics. One of them are the values, that are principles or standards of behavior. The American values, for example, are represented in their icons or in the icons' works. Pixar's company is an icon that reflects the values, for example, change and action work orientation. Change talks about how North Americans work hard to make new things and improving the old ones to build amazing changes to the future, like the production of the Renderman, a software created by Ed Catmull to create spectacular visual effects. This software is used today and has been used in the animated features and changed the way we see the animated movies. The action work orientation value talks about how North Americans need to be doing something worthy like working or creating things because they can't stand to be wasting large amounts of time resting. An example of this is the creation of The Adventures of Andrea and Wally-B, the first animated short film by the group that now is Pixar, that started as a project to show how the Lucasfilm group also knew how to do animated films. So they worked hard to finish their project in a year time, and they created new technologies and new strategies to be able to finish this work on time for presenting it to another group of people that were interested in animated films. In conclusion, Pixar's company reflects the American values change for their need to be improving, like in Renderman software, and action work orientation because of their constant work to do amazing things like animated short film The Adventures of Andrea and Wally-B. At the end is left to say that Pixar company is a beautiful work of art and amazing technology maker that represent, if not all, most of the American values. It is a matter of searching for them in the breathtaking history of love for the filmmaking job and the enthusiasm for always breaking the limits of the possible. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and have a nice time. Pixar and Disney Animation Studios class influence. In America, there is a constant class warfare that is obviously seen in everyday life, but it is not discussed much because according to the American values, that cannot be when there are the same possibilities of succeed in the economic aspect. This warfare is based in the struggle between society classes such as working class and the upper class, in which there is an assault and exploitation of the workers in low class by the bourgeoisie or upper class. In the US, the class ladder is a marked characteristic of their society and has notorious division already established, that are
upper class divided in old money and new money, middle class divided into middle and working class, and lower class divided into working poor and poverty level. When we talk about class, there is not a proper definition, but it is contemplated in three different groups. The first one is political class, that talks about the power to influence the public and the political process. The second is the cultural class, that talks about the education, taste, and lifestyle known as cultural capital. And the third one is the economical class, that talks about the income and accumulated wealth. The animation studios such as Pixar and Disney have a lot of aspects in what concerns to class and have relevant actions that can produce impact in all of them. So Pixar and Disney have similarities and differences in the political, cultural, and economic classes that changed the influence they produce in the movie industry. They are similar in the influence they produce over the public in political class and the lifestyle in cultural class. In the first case, the influence over the public political class is about how the community or people as a whole are affected by something. In this case, Pixar and Disney lead them into certain path or at least into certain ideas. For example, Pixar with Toy Story and Disney with the first movie Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs have changed how people see movies in the way they appeal to family groups to go and pay for animated movies, and that let them see a new reality through computer-made images. In the second case, the lifestyle and cultural class points to a set of attitudes, habits, or possessions associated with a particular person or group. In this way, through the image of their characters, they try to present how the people should live depending on the class they are living in. For example, in Pixar's movie Cars and Disney movie Cinderella. In Cars is presented Lightning McQueen, which is raising young celebrity who imagines how will his life be full of luxuries if he wins the race. Also, there is Cinderella, a girl treated as a servant that has almost nothing and works hard and has bad, dirty clothes, as said in the history of animation assignment gender roles in Disney animation. This shows how movies pretend to show and print the example of how the people's lifestyle is depending on the social ladder they are. They are different in the income and accumulated wealth in the economic class they have. First of all, the income in the economic class is the amount of monetary or other returns, either earned or unearned, occurring over a given period of time. Each animation studio has amounts of income that comes from different sections. For example, Pixar earnings come from the animated movies, short films, and the Renderman program. And the Disney animation earnings come from theatrical, home entertainment, and television markets. Also, from the Walt Disney Pictures, Touchstone Pictures, Pixar, Marvel, and Disney Nature banners. Even though Pixar was purchased in the year 2006 by Walt Disney Company, it is a different arm that works in parallel with the Disney Studios and still produces its films. Second of all, the accumulated wealth in economic class points to the total amount of all goods and resources having value in terms of exchange or use. Also, an abundance of valuable material possessions or resources. For example, Pixar has accumulated $7.2 billion worldwide after 12 films, and Disney Animation Studios have accumulated $7.9 billion worldwide in a 2011 report. This is because even though the amounts are not far from one another, Disney Studios have more incomes with the different arms of its entertainment studio sector. In conclusion, Pixar and Disney have similarities and differences in the political, cultural, and economic classes that change the influence they produce in the movie industry. In terms of class, everybody has a chance to see their development from their beginning because of the technology that is available for almost everybody. It is interesting to classify between the class items because that gives a wider space in the compare and contrast aspects, but there is a lot of examples that the readers can use to know more about these icons. Thank you.